Hi everyone to Tauke Talks. Tauke Talks is a series of sharing sessions where small but mighty businesses owners can share about their motivation on how they start their businesses and of course the story behind their journey of being a business owner. So my name is Denise, the host for today's session. This sharing session is brought to you by RYSE, an entrepreneurship program that equips young people with entrepreneurial skills and also business knowledge to start their own businesses. And this is supported by Citi Foundation. So we believe in RYSE that entrepreneurship is not only for big startups with high technology, but also small and very essential businesses like Foo Foo. So during MCO, we want to showcase how they have persevered through this time and how they have overcome any challenges when they started their businesses, even to now during the MCO. So we're happy to welcome Jack, the co-founder of Foo Foo. Hi, Jack.
Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for taking time to join us in this session. Yeah, all right. So,
how are you
yeah,
today?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's an off day for Foo Foo, right, today?
It is. So we're back to closing every Wednesday, which has been the same day since we opened. But during MCO, there was a time that we actually opened every day just to try the delivery. But for now, starting tomorrow, we are going back to we're going to be semi-open for dine-in with limited tables. So we're back to three. Well, it used to be 3 to 11 last time, but for now, because my team they actually need Grab car to come to work. So for now, Grab is still they're sticking to the latest, what do you call it, passenger at 11, picking up passengers at 11 o'clock. So we can't close at 11 because it will be too late for them to get a car. So we have to close at 10. Yeah, but it'll be it'll be every day except Wednesdays lah.
So I think limited opening hours, but maybe we can hear more about it later on. We can hear like the inside story of how you have adapted to the MCO. Yeah, so I think before we go back to Jack, we'll just recap the agenda for today's session. So we'll start off with knowing more, welcoming Jack, of course, and knowing more about his business, Foo Foo, and maybe how he partnered with his co-founder. And then the sharing session will be mostly about what is his motivation, the story behind the business, how he's overcome any challenges when he started, and so on. And then during the Q&A, you will answer your questions. So please leave your questions in the chat group so you can hear the story more in depth of his business. And then the ending would be where we share a little bit about a new online course that RYSE is having, and also the next Tauke Talks session. So without further ado, hi Jack. So can you share briefly about what is Foo Foo?
Okay. So Foo Foo's specialize in traditional plated desserts. We have to sort of specify this term because we do know that desserts come in many forms and categories. But for Foo, who is my business partner, I mean I think it is to his liking that he prefers traditional desserts. So meaning desserts that have backgrounds and history from decades or even centuries ago from all around the world. So and his take on desserts, we call it again traditional in the sense that it is more rural, it is more rustic. Even though I mean it has a plating, it has a certain design and aesthetics to it, as all desserts should have. But it is more homely, I would say, and it is more wholesome. So that is why the word traditional. You have, of course, on the other side that is modern plated desserts that is more aesthetically pleasing, more exciting to look at, more dainty and refined. Yeah. So that is where we draw the line. Is that we are more towards that fundamental traditional plated desserts. Yeah. So yeah, Foo Foo, we only serve desserts, and of course, and drinks, and we have a dessert and wine pairing as well. Yeah.
Oh, and you have been in Foo Foo together with your partner since the beginning? Is
Mm.
your surname also Fu? I'm curious about
Yeah,
that.
so that is not his surname. Fu is very, very common Hainanese surname, isn't it? But in fact, yeah, that is his given name. His name is Chong Kin Fu. Yeah, so and since I mean he created all the desserts, so we're thinking the namesake of the shop, I so just go to him, call him Fu Fu.
Mm.
So, really not much thought process there, isn't it? Yeah, it's just because yeah, he's the chef. Yeah. Yeah.
So what inspired you two to start this business? Were you two both in the background of making desserts, or
Ah.
you've always wanted a business?
Okay. Well, Fu has the background in doing business. In doing dessert and also in business. He graduated from Cordon Bleu in Sydney, and he worked there for a while and before he came back to Malaysia. I, on the other hand, I was an architect. And
Hmm.
how we met is because we played badminton together. So and that's how we get to know each other. And I got to know what he does. And it is quite interesting because I well, as far as desserts go, usually to get a plated desserts, you can only find them at either hotels or fine dining restaurants. And if you go to restaurants, usually the desserts come last in the menu, right? You come with the
Mm.
starter, the main dish, and blah blah blah, and then at the end you come with the dessert. So we thought like, hey, why don't we bring your brand of desserts, plated desserts, to a cafe, a casual cafe setting, um, and then make it as a as a main dish, for the cafe, and let's keep it at a more affordable price because let's say if you're going to go to a hotel to even just enjoy an eclair, you have to be ready to fork out more than 20 ringgit for it. A normal, nice, which is usually the modern plated desserts, could go up to about
Mm.
40 over ringgit. I mean, understandable. It is for the ambience as well, and the cost of operating the restaurant. So the idea came to us like, why not we, let's share uh, uh, um, your take on the plated desserts at a more affordable price. And that's how, I mean, we come to actually set up our menu, um, which falls into the bracket of between 20 to 30 ringgit. We have, so far for the past 4 years, we have never, broken the 30 ringgit threshold. So it has worked well for us with this pricing. But I mean, you have to understand desserts are not cheap as well. The ingredient cost is really, I didn't know about it also. Until I
Mm.
started the business, then only I realized, okay, that's how it is. So we try to keep it at a very reasonable profit margin for ourselves, and it works out.
Mm. Okay. Perhaps if let's say anyone here wants to eat desserts during stay at home or maybe at work, could you share how we can like order your dessert or see
Mm,
your
mm.
previous products? Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, for the past 4 years, we have only been doing dine-in uh, desserts, right?
Mm.
There are many times that we did have a few desserts that can be taken away in the past, and there was one point in time that there are no desserts available in the menu that are suitable for takeaways. And so Fufu has been known to be, just very prone, towards dine-in only and not for delivery and
Oh.
takeaway. Yeah, and actually, to be fair, the name plated desserts itself is already quite limited. The nature of the desserts itself is already has put us in this, uh, sort of a limitations, I would say, when it comes to
Mm.
takeaway and delivery. But lo and behold, so MCO came, and we took a 1 week break, and when the government announced that we can provide delivery, I have to
Mm.
thank Fu for his quick thinking and how resilient he is. He came up with a few modifications and also new desserts that can be taken away, can be delivered as well. So so after a week, we also, thanks to our POS system, I have to give them a shout out, Store Hub, for how quick they were, to actually to launch this delivery service called Beep It. And you find a lot of cafes actually engage that service as well. And so when these two things happen at the same time, then we're like, okay, let's do it. Let's just give it. I wouldn't say give it a try, but it's more or less like we are not given any choice, right? So let's just do it. So April came and gone. It has seemed to work for us. We managed to sort of cover all the expenses required. We still managed to pay our rents, utilities, and our staff salary. We can keep them. And yeah, so to answer your questions, yes, if you go to our Instagram, there's a link there, or even on our Facebook. It's fufu.beepit. It's beep, beepit.com. So you'll be linked to a website, and you can order the desserts there. A bit different. So let's say if you know of our desserts like our apple strudel, which usually comes with the black pepper mango ice cream. Over here, for delivery, unfortunately, we can't send you the ice cream because we don't put stabilizers in our ice cream, so it will melt really fast. And we still don't have the a proper packaging for ice creams so far. So it all comes in a different, so the apple strudel will come with the whipped cream. The strawberry tart doesn't come with the balsamic vinegar ice cream anymore, but in fact it has, I would say more strawberries. Yeah, in that sense. So yeah, you'll find a few familiar desserts in the menu, in the delivery menu, but there are also a few new ones in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Thank
very
you for sharing the
interesting.
link. Yeah.
Yeah, how you have adapted to the MCO. You tried to use different new menu and also maybe change a little bit of the old menu to cater to the delivery. And it's only happening during MCO, right? Like the delivery services.
Yes. So
Yeah, so I think,
it's it's really a new ball game for us. Totally out of our own comfort zone. I'm not talking just about not seeing customers at the shop, but really the whole operation is different. You're now depending on a lot of parties to get a dessert, delivered to a customer, and to actually gauge their feedbacks and all that as well. So delivery platforms, the POS systems and all that. So it's a lot
yep.
more people now that you have to engage. Just to see, how, just to make sure that every dessert is delivered to the satisfaction of the customer.
Yeah. I think also, like, I'm wondering if you had the similar challenges when you just started. Were you like juggling between, should I do delivery or should it always be dine in? Were you more what was your thoughts when you just started? Like, was it money? Was it hard to get, or was it hard to get support from customers who have never heard of Foo Foo before?
So you're talking about how it
When you
goes when we first started?
yes.
Yes, of course. When you start any business, I would say there's always this uncertainty, that everyone would have, right? Whether it will work or not. But it's always that positivity and that confidence that you have with what you're doing, that will at least give you a bit of comfort in doing what you do. I would say maybe the desserts didn't come from me, right? So I started when I first knew Pooh, and I get to try his desserts. So I'm coming from a consumer's point of view. So at that time I was like, hey, I really haven't seen any cafes doing desserts like this before. Usually you find desserts being on display, there are petite desserts, petit food and all that being on displays. But his is, made to order. I mean, it's a bit like restaurant, but only desserts. So with that idea, and as a consumer, that I I asked myself, yeah, I think I would crave for this. So that's why I came up with the idea with Foo to actually start Foo Foo.
Mm.
Uh, and oh yes, I mean, knowing that desserts is a very niche product in a way, it's compared to hot food, which is a huge industry, right? Desserts is still, especially 4 years ago, is also it's just a very small market.
Mm.
The risk is, I believe, to be considerably higher.
Mm.
So that's how we understood at that time, even before we started, that we had to cut the risk and as much as we can, and that means we have to reduce our overheads and expenses. So even before we started, we both have already agreed that this is going to be our sort of like a second home, in that sense that we will always be there to manage things. So you cut down on the need of staff,
Mm.
right? And and also we deliberately actually look for a shop on the first floor, instead of being on the ground floor. We searched high and low. We actually spent 6 months. I mean, I still had my job at that time, and he's also not like in a hurry to actually start this business. So we're like, let's just slowly look for a nice location. Fu stays in Cheras, I stay in Sentul. So it's like, okay, let's look for a place that maybe is nearer to either
Mm.
house or my place.
Mm.
But of course, I mean, we also looked at places all around, like the KL City Center area, the PJ, or even to Cheras at that time. Sorry, no offense to Cheras, but at that time we find like Cheras still hasn't started yet on the cafe scene.
Mm.
Compared to now, Cheras is actually very promising. Um, and we ended up in Tamantul. So when we found this place that is close to PJ yet in KL, and it's not far from I would say not far from my place, and it has a nice frontage where it's facing a row of very mature trees and all that. So I was like, okay, this one really feels comfortable. He felt like that too. So then that's how we started. And I would say it is a correct choice to set our mind on looking at a shop on the first floor, because the rental is really a killer if you're not
Mm.
careful about it. We dismiss the idea of opening in malls right away, because malls, of course, you kind of have to open 7 days a week. We are really lazy to do that. So we're like, no, we must have our own sense of control over the operation of the shop. So let's look for a shop lot so that we can close whenever we want.
Mm.
And yeah, compared to the rentals on the ground floor, which is actually 3 times what we're paying for
Wow.
our shop. So yeah, Tamantun isn't exactly the cheapest nor the most expensive.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, but it is, I would say, one of the best choices that we made is actually to have found that shop, at that location, and being on the first floor, because really it has helped us through a lot.
Mm.
Ever since the beginning of our business, well, we are very lucky, and I really can't say with all these decisions made. I would say luck also played a certain part of a certain part in it. Um, we we have not actually been we have not faced any losses, and
Mm.
I think it is really because of the overhead that we managed to reduce. Our capital is also actually quite low, thanks to help from my friends, Carl from How Ideas, and also with my background in architecture.
Mm.
So renovation is actually kept at the most a simplistic way possible.
Mm.
We had a lot of ideas in our mind, but we know that we have to keep it within this budget, and we allow ourselves time to actually grow and change along the way. So you don't start out by taking too big of a first step. You know, I wouldn't say it's baby step as well, but just allow yourself some time to actually grow. So you notice that if you have been to Foo Foo's from the first day and compared to now, you see a lot of changes, which actually we had in mind when in the beginning, but we just put it off first. Let's say, okay, if this business works, let's save up some money and then we do the next renovation. So like the windows that you see, the French windows that you see, yeah, it was just done up, I don't know, 2 years ago. So it wasn't, we are
Oh.
really not in a rush. But before that, it was just a straight jacket sort of office window, aluminium frame window, which is, I know it's not ideal, but it is what it is. Let's just go with the what we want to do first. I mean, serving good desserts to customers first, instead of talking too much about the ambience, right?
Mm.
So yeah. Um. So sorry, did I answer your question? I
Yes,
think
you
I've
did.
sidetracked a lot.
Yeah, I think
Sorry about
it's
that, guys.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how you
Yeah.
pace yourself near the start of the business, how you try to reduce as
Mm,
much cost as possible just
mm,
for the
mm,
start of it. I'm
mm.
curious, like, were there any like motivations you guys had or goals that helps you to keep on going? I'm sure starting a business at the beginning was very hard. Like, what motivated you guys to keep on going for like 4 years now?
Oh, we have no idea. Actually, we have no idea. No, that's the thing. We do not have any plans. In a
Mm,
way, like to set a mission. Guys, everyone has a different goal. So
mm,
do not take my goal as yours. We both started this knowing that it is how to say it? I really don't like how cliche this sounds, but it is sort of like a lifestyle choice. We are not really going in to this F&B industry to make it big.
mm,
You know what I mean? It is really, really not in our thoughts at all. We're like, nah, this is not going to be a bucket of gold for us. No, we know that it's going to be, we're going to be there at the shop every day. And if you look at the design of the shop, it also has a bit of that home setting. It is plainly because we want our friends and families to come here to hang out as well, right? And true enough, I mean, we always have that, and customers also became our friends and family. So they're always there to hang out and all that.
mm,
It is it is the intention that we had since the beginning, and it has worked out in that way. So our goal is really not a goal at all. I would say it is we intended it to just do it as a very small business. A lot of people ask us whether we're going to have like other branches or franchise and all that.
mm,
No, we don't have. I mean, we if you start to have more, if you start to expand, you're running a business anymore. You're not running a shop.
mm,
That's what I always told people who wanted to start, a cafe. It's up to you. If you want to run it as a business, you want to grow big, go ahead. I mean, there are ways to do
mm,
it. But our intention since the beginning is really to just run it as a small little shop for, as known as Foo Foo.
mm,
So we don't have like a mileage like, oh, okay, what we're going to do for the first 5 years, what's going to happen after after the fifth year. I'm really not from a business background, so I really can't answer you that. And but
understand.
I all I can say is I think I'm very lucky. I'm very grateful that we actually can, we have lasted this long, and we are now in our fifth year, and we're just gonna do what we have been doing.
Mm,
But of course, this MCO sort of nudges out of the comfort zone, and it makes us rethink,
mm,
how we are going to adapt. It is not a new idea that will come up, but it is actually given this situation how we are going to adapt to this,
yeah.
this new times.
Were there any like skills that you think people should have when they start a business? Like any specific skills you wish you know
Mm.
when you started?
Okay, this is my personal belief.
Mm,
I've seen restaurants that are started by non-chefs at all. They don't cook, but they just hire people to start a restaurant or cafe, and just it worked, it worked. But I'm not comfortable with that idea. I would say the risk is higher. You're depending on chef, and you lose out a certain type of personality to that shop because you're depending on chef, right? So why I agree, not to say agree, but why I'm comfortable with the idea of starting this shop with Foo is because he is the chef. And when we are always at the shop, I'm not just talking about the quality control and all that, but he is the soul of the whole, this Foo Foo setup, right? Um, do you consider that as a skill? Because that is his skill, right? And he is there. He is the wow, I'm going way off, like the spirit of the shop is like, wow, so so poetic. But yeah, I would say I I can't say necessarily what skills are required to actually to run a shop, but I would
Mm-mm.
believe that if you're talking about F&B, if one of the partners is actually, or one of the owners actually the chef that creates the food,
Mm.
creates the drinks and all that, like for a bar, the bartender is actually the owner of the bar and all that. So I would find those places, owner run restaurants and cafes, to be more personal, to be
Mm.
more charming, in that sense that I can relate. If I go, I find that cafes that I frequent most of the time are those that are actually run by the owners themselves, not the chains, not the you know those that actually people just dummy money to start a business and then let it
Right.
run by foreigners and all that. So I that is my own personal take on it.
Mm.
So if I would say, if you want to start an F&B business, um, uh, my advice is you have to know what you're doing, especially when it comes to food. So if you're very skilled, if you're very skilled in the kitchen, in preparing food and all that, then if you want to start a business, yes, I would say you stand a better chance of getting a good response and feedbacks from customers, which translates to good business and sustaining. Yeah.
Mm. So it comes to the question, do you think young people should start their businesses in like F&B maybe?
I'm always, I would say, always encourage that. Um, Sorry guys, did I talk too long?
Yeah, sorry
So
guys,
yeah.
we will maybe stay a bit longer, probably around 10:40 or 10:45, just to hear a bit more from Jack. Yeah, go
Sorry,
on, Jack.
okay, but you see, the thing is, I started this when I was in my, oh my God, I'm 35
The young
years old.
people, yeah.
I'm not young
25.
anymore,
Oh.
right? Even when I started this. So for you young people out there to be starting your own business, I really take my hats off to you all, because I came from a background where my parents were teachers, and we are very, well, not to say conservative, but it's a very safe environment. We have never dabbled in business before. Taking risk is something that is, in a way, not encouraged. I wouldn't say
Mm.
discouraged, but it is just not. We're never exposed to that. Fu comes from a family with the father being a businessman, so he has a bit of a idea in that way. So thank you, Daniel. See you again. So, so yeah. So I would say, if you ask me, if young people, if you want to start your own business, by all means, I would say, right? Um, um, you guys are way more courageous than me. So, but I'm still glad that I actually found this chance to do it. And a lot of people ask me, did I look back, to my architecture years and all that? I mean, of course, there are fun times and all that in the past, but
Mm.
it is not a decision made in haste, and it is also something that I really had in mind for a long time in the past, to actually have to run a cafe, this kind of lifestyle. And I'm glad that I actually get to do it, and there wasn't a moment of regret, actually. Yeah,
Mm.
in the beginning, it has been challenging yet fun at the same time.
I'm sure your customers are very happy that you started, that they get to try all your yummy desserts.
Oh well, that you
Thank you,
see
Jack.
that
Yeah.
is the thing. That is the thing that you wouldn't know when you first begin,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean we are not here to. Oh, one thing though, you really can't please everyone. So please stop yourself from thinking that you have to please everyone. You get good reviews, you
yeah.
get bad reviews. Just take those constructive ones,
Mm,
and try to improve yourself. But all in all, you still know what you're gonna do. Um, I was very easily swayed in the beginning. Customers
mm,
would love to give feedbacks and all that. Hey, I think this one is like this. Hey, I think this one is, because knowing that you're new in the market, right? They would actually just like to give ideas. I'm thankful, but you have to really you have to know how to pick the constructive ones, the
yeah.
ones that are actually going to help you, but not going to change who you are.
Mm,
So thanks to Fu as well, who is very, he's, he knows what he does. He knows what he has the extensive background in working in all the Michelin star hotels, actually even in Sydney, right? So when I send him those feedbacks, um, I remember it annoyed him a lot. Not to say in a bad way, but he annoyed with me because I'm very easily affected by opinions at that time. But I learned, throughout all these years to take what is actually good for us, and we have made a lot of changes and or modifications as well.
mm,
But do not let yourself be brought down by a lot of those just pointless negative comments.
right.
Yeah, if actually if you have a lot of that, I mean, not to say like the majority of it lah, right? But
Mm,
if you have a lot of those very vicious comments about yourself that is really like doesn't make any sense, don't feel bad about it. It means you have actually reached somewhere already that people actually bothered.
precise, right?
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I think you just quickly go through the Q&As. I think a lot of people
Okay.
have been interested to, they ask a few questions. So I think one
Sure.
of the question is, what do you think is important when you build a business? Is it the product? Is it your strategy? Is it your branding? Like, which do you think is the most important?
Hmm. Um, for me, when we wanted to start this, it's always the product that is the I think of course the heart and soul of the shop.
Mm,
I myself I am, like I said, I'm drawn to places that are, I don't care so much about ambience. It can be a shed, but if the food is good, I'll just go back. I think because it's also how we are so drawn to roadside eating and hawker stalls, the shabby hawker stalls and all that. But as long as the food is good, you know, it is
mm,
always crowded. You can see that in Malaysia,
yeah.
particularly. Um, so yeah, to me the food is the most important one. But I'm also influenced by friends who actually just add on to that. That says your branding also must have a certain level to it, because
Mm,
we're in the digital age. Your a lot of marketing and exposure has to come from social media as well.
mm,
So he, by he I meant Carl. He's also very good in what you call that, branding. So he sort of taught me how to actually just to increase our presence on social media by having a certain way of I, I still don't know what the strategy is, but I would say, have a bit of presence on social media, because before this I would really just think nothing of it.
mm.
And but what I would say, this is before MCO. For that past 4 years, we have actually never sponsored any post, and we have never
Oh,
sponsored our page, because I told myself I would like to see how our PropMed grow
naturally,
organically
yeah,
without
yeah.
giving it a push. And interestingly enough is that from how we gauge from the customers when they come in to dine in, and I ask them, is this the first time? Oh, okay, how do you hear about us and all that? I always ask them those questions.
Mm.
I would say 90% of the time is, oh, because my friends told me about it.
Wow.
You know, it's
Word
through
of
word
mouth.
of mouth.
Mm.
Instead of, there are a few actually, oh, I just happened to walk past and I came out. That's really interesting, rare but interesting. Or I've seen you on like key in desserts and then they found our shop on Google. You know, those, yeah, we have a few of that, but mostly it's all because, yeah, my friends told me about you guys, and so I'm, you know, so word of mouth, I would say, is very, very important. So that goes back to the products, and of
Yeah.
course service, um, and I would say to a certain extent is the ambience lah, which,
Mm-mm.
okay, I mean, you know, for Instagram. um yeah, guys, so I would say until now, yeah, I would say it's because of Foo's desserts,
The
that
product.
is the main key, yeah, the main
Mm.
key of the food. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're short of time, so the last question will go from Sasha.
Oh,
I hope you
that's
don't mind. One last question.
fun.
I'm interested to have my own dessert cafe, but where did you get your first capital?
Okay, it is from my savings.
Which is good. Yeah.
we
Start with your
I
own.
Yeah, we didn't go, we didn't take any loans and all that. So I'm sorry, I can't help you
Mm.
if you ask me questions about loans. I
Mm-mm.
could, you can contact me personally. I can help you ask around. I really have no idea about that. It comes from my savings, and because maybe it comes from my savings, I have a lot of stake, right? So I have to make
Mm.
sure that it goes well. But glad to hear that you're doing desserts. I think desserts deserve more recognition than it does. You know? A lot of people still think dessert as a secondary, you know, dish in the menu. That's why we yeah, I mean, a little bit helps as well. Oh, okay, you mean also, I see. Uh, and so if you look at our cutleries, they're all dinner fork and knife and all that. People be asking, why are your desserts fork and knife so big? I said, no, because we treat our desserts as a main dish. And
Wow.
but yeah, good to hear that.
Mm.
Ingredients and all that, we have a lot. Okay, guys, if any of you really want to start F&B businesses and all that, please reach out to us, talk to us, or talk to anyone that you know. Get the contacts from us. Okay, all the suppliers, we know which supply is better, which one is cheaper, which one is more affordable, and all that. Just talk to us so that we can give you all these things. Even if you want to talk about renovation, if you want to talk about property agents that you want to look for locations, right? So just come to us, then we can give you all these contacts and recommendations and all that, so you don't just blindly go somewhere and just start this thing. Have all the infos that you want, and then
Mm.
make a decision best, that suits to yourself best. Okay, so always
Research
always
first.
reach out to us. Me personally, yes, you can just, can they get any of my personal contacts, or or just through Songmat is fine as well. Just come to us. We can give
Yeah.
you. We have a list of all these things. Just
Wow.
we
Thanks for the
always.
offer, Jack. I'm sure it's helpful for
No problem.
someone out there who is interested to start a F&B. And if they ask us for your number, we can if you're okay with it, then we can share with them.
Yes. By all means, anytime.
Yeah. So
So
thank you
yeah,
again, Jack, for your insight. I think it was very inspiring to hear about your experience, how you started your business, and that spirit of Foo Foo that really bring you guys forward for these past 4
thank
to
you,
5 years.
thank
Yeah.
you for having me. And
Yeah.
for maybe 30 minutes is a bit too short, and I'm really sorry for taking up so long. If you
Yeah, thank
yeah.
you everyone for being patient with us. Just getting to hear how he adapted to the situation from a traditionally plate to somehow becoming deliverable, able to be sent to people's homes, and also how they take criticism, like the good criticism, and to adapt to that, and also of course differentiate between the bad criticism, and also taking risks with your own savings. And capital doesn't have to be from loans, but it can be from your own savings. I hope everyone is
Keep it small, the capital, I would say.
yeah,
A lot of people like to go big. A lot of people like to go big and make it gempak, that sort of thing. I would say try not to get in your head with, how
Mm.
nice you want a cafe to look.
Yeah.
Simple, basic, use lighting. Oh, talk to me. I can talk about design all the
Yeah, he's
time.
so willing to share. So please reach out to
Yeah.
him if you're
Yeah,
interested to
yes, yes.
start a business.
Mm.
But also for Rise Online, we really hope that young people can start businesses. So that's why if you are really interested to start a business or you just want to learn like step to step on how to build a business, we can connect you with people, probably like Jack if he's willing. And then you can learn about skills and step by step how to start a business. So hopefully please like our Facebook page. We will be posting more about Rise Online soon, which is an online course that you can do it at home and your own pace.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
so don't forget, we also have the next Tauke Talk session, which is in Mandarin, from Xin Yu, who makes her homemade hanfu and do customized order. So if you're interested in that, please sign up. You can see the link in our Facebook page. So thank you again, Jack. We hope to see you soon. I really want to try your dessert one day. All the best
Thank
for your
you,
business.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank
Take care
you.
and stay safe. Okay, see you around. Bye bye.
Bye bye.